Today I'd like to give you an overview of part 2 in the series on defining cooperative leadership within community. Part 1 was about the template of the process that unfolds within the dynamic of cooperative leadership. And this part is about the mentality of lack, which so many of us have in our own personal life and in business, and most especially when it's associated with social services, foundations, 501c3, not-for-profit, community organizations, that there's a lack of funds, there's a lack of resources to provide the services and the needs of what the mission of the project and the people are about. Back just before 2000, when I was director of a federally funded not-for-profit social service mentoring program, I learned a great deal. And the first thing that I had to learn was to detach myself from the project and the outcome and the financial budget and resources and how they used from my own personal belief on what money and my budget and my lifestyle is about. That was primary, and I didn't realize it until quite a long way into the journey after 4.5 years, that by me detaching from what my own personal perspectives were, and at the time and even now, on my personal finances, I was able to see the vision of what I had available and what was possible much clearer. I did notice the same thing that in community organizations, on the board of my own program and other boards, that those who focus on the budget of the program that is available, they tend to look at it like it's their own personal budget, as they would in their own family. And by doing so, they miss being able to use those resources to the benefit of what the vision is, because it's tainted, even if it's ever so slightly or on a larger scale, that it is used in the way that they work within their life. The next thing I learned was about the budget and the line items. Designated line items that cannot be used for anything else except that which it is designated for. And then there are the rest of the line items that are used for the administration, for miscellaneous, for the needs to make the rest of the program work. And these line items, more often than not, can be moved around as necessary. Not all the time, but most of the time. Now, in the particular program that I was involved in, I took over from a lady who had done an amazing job for 25 years. She had been the first director of this particular program, and she was retiring, and so I was the next one to take over. When I started learning about the program, I was given the vision that you can't move these line items around. They are absolutes. When I went to my supervisor afterwards and I asked to explain, these are the ones I know that are absolute, but then what about the rest of the 3/4 of the other line items? Can these be used in different forms? And he asked, well, what do you want to do with them? And so I explained, and he said, yes, you can move this here and that here and da-da-da. And this is all perfectly legal. It is all perfectly acceptable. And so the next step that is important in looking at the budget is what you require, what you desire of that time and that program, and then how are you going to achieve it within what you already have. Because if it's a federal budget, that's it. It's an absolute, you get so much money and that's it. And that's probably the same with most programs that are state or federal involved. And so you have to learn to work within that. And I found that it is absolutely possible to work within those parameters when you have a desire, you have a vision, and that even when it looks like it is completely unattainable, never give that up. And be logical and fair and conservative. And you will find that when you know what you have available, and that's not just in financial realms, it is in kind, it is in talent, it is in gifts given and received, it is in what the community can provide and what you can give back. Most important, what you can give back as a give and receive. And through this information that you gather, then you start to see where the budget and what's within the budget that you can use. And believe me, this is not pie in the sky. I've actually made it happen for 4 years in a row. And at the end of each year, I had money that I had to spend to get down to zero.